Welcome into post-show headlines and not SVU talk. God, I'm sitting here between Haley and John with this character, that character.
She didn't even know Kelly's family. You didn't even realize that.
I hope Kelly's doing well.
Kelly is. She's awesome.
Good for you and your SVU.
She's sweet.
Post-show headlines, 10 minutes, 5 topics, 2 minutes apiece, then we get the hell out of here. Like, subscribe. We always appreciate you guys doing that on YouTube. Now, today is one of those weird days where we don't have something that is specifically topical with a Philadelphia sports team. I put down 3 questions. I asked you if you had any. You said I have slice of life questions.
Yeah, I got one Philly one that's Philly.
Okay.
So it is Philly, and then I have one that's more family.
Well, then fine. You know what? I do have a sports one.
Do a sports one.
And then you'll do the Philly
right,
one.
And then we'll
that
do the
way,
Philly one.
because, 97.5 the Fanatic, Sports
yeah,
Philadelphia.
Exactly. Yeah, keep it that way.
All right, so give me a player that you wish had a longer career or a healthier career so that you could have seen what they could have truly accomplished. And no, I did not have this thought because of Joel Embiid, because I know you know that I love JoJo. I saw every once in a while...
Are you taking anyone off the table?
Pelly,
there's one.
Lindbergh,
Well, obviously, Pelly Lindbergh's one. No, I mean, okay.
But the reason why I even thought about this, every once in a while, his highlight reel gets posted on social media, and it's near and dear to my heart because of my Lithuanian heritage. But Arvydas Sabonis,
okay,
because he didn't come to the States till his early to mid 30s, which in the NBA that's late.
Sure,
right? Not 19, 20 years old.
Right.
Everything that was going on during Soviet control when he was out in Lithuania still, and in his limited NBA career, he was pretty good, and the highlight reel was great.
Sure
His passing was ridiculous. I wish he could have had a full tenure in the NBA where he had real training,
right,
real help with team doctors, body, because he bulked up a little bit toward the end of his career a little bit. But that's a player that I think of. But it doesn't even have to be Philadelphia. I think of Rudy Gay, a guy that was always hurt in the NBA. He was a lot of fun to watch. Brandon Roy, a guy that was a lot of fun to watch, always hurt. Anybody that comes to your mind in any sport?
Eric Lindros always comes to mind.
Of course.
For me. And honestly, anything now with when I worry about the concussions, always comes to mind. And you think about that. And to me, I just always think that Lindros it was this close. It was this close to changing the entire trajectory of a franchise and a city that it might have been completely different for him had things worked out like that. When you think about it, I do wonder if things had been a little bit different if one injury doesn't happen. I still believe Carson Wentz is the franchise quarterback of the Eagles.
I know. I
really do. I believe everything went off the rails because sometimes people aren't mentally strong, and when faced with a challenge, they fold.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to paint him as a bad person or anything, but I think he folded.
He was a bad teammate.
As he was.
I was very comfortable saying he was a bad teammate.
There are a lot of bad teammates like Aaron Rodgers, who won a lot.
Correct.
Brett Favre, who won a lot. So to me, but I think that there are a lot of people who mentally fold sometimes when they're faced with life challenges.
Yeah.
To me, Carson Wentz, without that injury,
who knows what would have happened?
Oh, I think he'd still be the franchise quarterback here, and I do believe we would have seen a Super Bowl or two.
Yeah.
So I really do think that.
What's your Philadelphia slice of life question?
Okay, yesterday I was downtown.
Okay.
And I was meeting someone for a little chance to get together for catch up.
Thanks for the
And they were staying at a hotel downtown, and so I park, pay an exorbitant amount of money to park.
Oh,
and then walk to this coffee shop.
Did you not street park, or you look for a...
There was no street parking because there was a bunch of all the markers.
It was also a work day.
And they were covered with bags for something. There was something going on over there. And so, but as I'm walking around, I lived right after Temple, right across the street in a brownstone from the Irish pub down at 20th Street.
Okay.
I regret that I didn't live more in a walking city at some point in my life.
Yeah.
To be able to just walk to work,
Yeah.
Walk to the bars, walk to restaurants. Because even though I paid that ridiculous amount of money to park, I would love to not have a car, to walk to go get my coffee, walk to whatever restaurant I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
Walk to a store. And it's past my time now.
Yeah.
To be able to live that way. But that is a life regret.
Yeah.
Did you ever would you want to do that now? You're young enough that you still could do it. But I see people with kids and I go, I think it's great for kids.
So we had this conversation. So I lived in Manayunk for 6 years, and that's a walking, obviously
it's a little different.
I drove to work here, but like grocery store I was able to walk to, restaurants I was able to walk to, anything.
I'm not talking downtown though.
Okay, that's fair. No, I'm more in favor of where I'm at now with my child, like in the suburban area where he can run around all over the place.
Absolutely.
I don't have to worry about crossing streets and all that kind of stuff. But that's me. I know people that have raised families in the city, and
it used to be the way.
Well, and the other
people did it.
John, it was probably a month or two ago. Christy and I went out for lunch or something in the city, and it was one of those days Cooper was at daycare. We get done so early. And we saw a family with like 3 kids, and they were walking whatever street in the city. And it's not like the parents were holding their hand because they're used to it.
Right.
Like if I brought Cooper to the city, he might be like, "Oh, let me cross the street real quick," and it's whoa. Whereas kids that are raised in it, they're just like, "Oh yeah, I have to stay on the sidewalk. Like I know that. That's what I'm used to." It's funny. My buddy Alex lived in the city. He sold his car. I don't need this.
Yeah, you don't need it. And you're paying for parking.
Yeah.
You're paying exorbitant insurance.
He sold his car. He would take the bus if he needed to. Like, that does sound...
And did he like it?
Yeah. Yeah, he's now in suburban
What does he do when he needs a car? Does he rent one?
His parents lived in South Jersey. He would take an Uber if he ever needed to go home.
That's a hell of an Uber ride.
He wasn't going home every day.
Oh, okay.
No, it was like occasionally.
Okay.
All right. Give me your other slice of life question that you have here.
Okay.
I got 2 more.
Okay, Ricky Bo. We just saw Ricky Bo from Unfiltered. Be sure to be checking out Ricky and Bill Colarulo every afternoon.
First time I saw him in person since he's lost weight.
He's looking great.
Dude, my God.
He's looking great. I'm telling you.
Phillies need relief help.
What I'm going to say is that, so I see Ricky, and I'm thinking about the fact is that there's let's put it this way, there's family. There's family type situations. We share a lot around here.
Yes.
We share a lot of information. We share a lot of family.
Yeah.
Do you believe sharing knowledge, sharing advice, sharing things is bad in the workplace? Because what I saw is one of those, ABC has this talk show in the afternoon.
Okay.
Where it's like an ABC news show, but it's like a talk show where they do stuff. And they say that now young people in the workplace hate getting advice from their older coworkers.
I think that's dumb.
Because I always give advice, and my wife tells me all the time, did you get asked when you offered that advice to Haley? When you offered that advice to Connor? And I said to myself, I don't remember if I was asked, but I know. And she goes, why don't you wait till someone asks for your advice? Because the topic came up because of this thing. It says young people of 30 and below hate geting advice from older coworkers.
I think it all depends. Like, I like advice from you when it comes to the job. You have how many more years of experience than I do?
30.
That's good for me. Parent advice. I have a 3-year-old.
Right.
You have a 21-year-old.
Yes.
I like that kind of advice because you have 18 extra years of parenting experience than I do. Now, I will say this. I had an amazing conversation with Joe Zerzula, who used to be a sales executive.
Joey Z, baby.
And this was probably 2 years ago. Because
Okay.
his son had a kid, so he became a grandpa.
Sure.
When his son's wife was expecting, he came up to me and goes, hey, what advice do you have for me? So I do believe the flip side is also important because he said, what do your parents or your in-laws do that you don't necessarily like? And I did say to him, my parents have to realize that the way it was 30 years ago may not be the way that it is now in terms of there's more information, sleep studies for kids. Like my dad, oh, your kid's not sleeping? Just make him stay up later. There is now information that if a child stays up later and is overly tired, the sleep is even worse.
A little whiskey on the...
Yeah, right, yeah, I hear that.
Whiskey on the
Trust
gums.
me, I've heard that a million times.
Whiskey on the gums when they're teething.
So I think as long as the person that is giving advice to the younger person is also open to hearing either advice back or you have to realize it's a little bit different nowadays, I think that's important.
Great. That's great advice back.
See?
That's great advice back.
See? I think the worst thing is that generations think that they can't like communicate. Like I hate that. I respect my elders because I learn not just about history and heritage and all that kind of stuff, but the way how to go about life.
See, I always hate the respect your elders term because I know way too many people in my generation
that don't respect.
I
got you.
That don't respect people that are like 20 and 25 and go, these kids today.
Yeah.
These youngsters today. I love working with young people. I find I learn from you guys and I don't always agree with stuff.
Right.
But I learn and I think it keeps you younger.
Yeah.
I think it keeps you younger. So.
All right. Last night, big night, the Salciunas household.
Good to hear it. You did have a jump in your step this morning.
First ever family board game night.
Oh!
And I know you're big in the board games. Now, this is technically not a board game.
Okay.
You'll probably say that if I don't
specify
that.
What is it?
Battleship.
That's a board game.
Well, you're not playing on
No, it's a board game. Battleship's great. We have it in our house. So, by the way, Olivia, my daughter, cheated.
How do you cheat?
She was a cheat.
How do you cheat Battleship?
She moved it around.
Oh, yeah,
she moved her ships around.
Okay, yeah, you can't.
Cheater. Somehow she graduated college.
So we had the box of Battleship just like kind of tucked away in a corner in the basement, and we exercise in the basement.
Okay.
So Coop comes down, we put on a little show for him for like an hour or a little less. Sometimes.
Okay.
And he saw the board game.
Little Bluey?
No, he's in all kinds of random stuff. He goes, "What's this?" Because he saw the big boat.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, it's Battleship. Can we play?" I was like, "Sure." So we played Battleship.
Did you show him how to play it?
Yeah, and
did he understand?
He put the pieces in. He didn't understand like, all right, if you hit here, you should probably go to the next one.
Was Mom playing with him?
It was Mom and Cooper versus Dad, and then when Dad was in the lead, it became Dad and Cooper versus Mom because he wanted to be on the winning team.
Okay, well then he's a lot like Olivia.
Yeah, I respect that. But yeah, can you remember the first board game you played with your kid? Sorry to make you go back 21 years.
No, I absolutely can. Because I had she is the worst sore loser, my child.
Okay.
And that the first game we played was Candyland.
Yeah, I knew it. That's a great game. Candyland's a strong game.
Candyland's a great starting game.
Yeah.
Great game to start on is Candyland. Because it's very easy to count.
Right.
It's very easy to understand. It's just one continuous line unless you hit those stupid
those
slides.
Things where you go back or
it's very easy to play. I loved playing board games with my daughter. I never let her beat me.
It's good
ever once. She was a terrible spoiled sport, but then the first time she beat me, she became obsessed with Monopoly. Because I love Monopoly.
Yeah.
She became obsessed with trying to beat her father at Monopoly. She beat me at Monopoly by like third grade. And when she beat me at Monopoly, she cried.
Wow.
She cried tears of joy and danced around the house because I never let her beat me at anything.
That's awesome.
And she beat me at Monopoly and I said, you beat me fair and square. There is a game you're going to play with Cooper, Risk.
Oh, I like Risk.
Okay,
I played
guess what?
That in college.
Guess what? I'll tell you this. I have played Olivia at Risk. My child, I've never beaten her.
She's a dictator.
Yeah, she is. But I will tell you this. I'm going to give you a little quick. I'm going to send you a picture later. We had a trophy. We have a trophy in our house.
Oh, I remember you with
and
the
we
board
set it
games.
up with a board game. The board game champion every year.
That's actually
and
awesome.
their name got engraved on the trophy.
Cool. That's cool.
And Olivia won it like more years than anyone.
Well, Coop's technically 1-0.
No, when he's older,
When he's older, he'll win it. With me.
By the way, sounds like though, look, has a little sore loser in him, and that's good.
Well, no, I was having more fun going, yeah, I saw your battleship, so he wanted to come to the fun side.
That's good.
All right, lastly.
Yes.
Do you get worried? This
Yes.
is so stupid. Do you get worried if you attempt to make a drink that you had that you might ruin it if it's not as good?
You mean a cocktail?
So, yes. So, for Father's Day, I'm so excited for our trip to Tampa.
It's going to be so much
I
fun.
can't wait. And we're going to Clearwater. That's where we're staying for a few nights. I can't wait to get an Orange Crush. The Orange Crush is what Coco's has. They have their own orange.
What, it's like 3 or 4 ingredients?
It's orange-infused vodka that they made themselves.
Okay.
A Florida orange that they they used a big press to get the juice out.
Right.
What's that, like, sweet liquor that always...
Grenadine?
No, not grenadine. No, I forget what it's called.
Whatever.
It's like simple syrup or whatever. And then one other ingredient, right? Really simple.
So you're trying to do them at home?
I'm going to try to make them this weekend for Father's Day, but I'm worried that I'm going to ruin it. Like I'm worried that it's not going to be good, and I'm going to go.
No.
I'm going to go out of my way to go buy orange vodka, orange juice.
Trial and error is fine.
Yeah, but then what do I do with a bottle of orange vodka? I'm not a big vodka drinker to begin with.
Because if you suck at it, if you're good at it, you're going to make them again.
Yes, I will.
If you suck at it, you're going to try again. You don't give up.
Don't ever give up.
You're persistent, so you'll try again.
Okay.
I think that's fantastic. But I will tell you, is that because the statute of limitations is done, I was a young kid who was allowed to mix drinks on Route 30 at Roach and O'Brien's and Spada's behind a bar when I was not even in 4th grade.
You're making them for the adults. Go get us a drink.
And when I was in Fort Lauderdale at a place called the Bahia Cabana, I was allowed to take the money, walk behind the bar, give the bartender the money, and get rum runners and stuff.
Yeah.
I was allowed to go behind the bar, work the rum runner machine.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was a different
As
era.
long as you respected it, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no. As long as I respected it and done. And they were like, well, what if they want Mr. Winkowski wants a shot in his? Get him a shot.
Shot on top.
And
Rum,
they
baby.
taught me how to do it, and I had to get the shot and learn how to do a shot.
Awesome.
And I'm talking grade school.
Yeah.
4th grade, 5th grade. So
you learned about ounces.
I learned about that stuff. So no, you're trial and error. And the thing is, you are so much more patient than I am.
That is true.
So you will experiment and you'll try, and you may even add a little twist to the Orange Crush.
You
may make it the Salciunas special and give it a different name.
Maybe. All right, that's post-show headlines. Thank you, everybody. Like, subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Back at it tomorrow. See you.